Quick dev tip. Did you know there's lots of different ways that you can do comments in your blueprints? First up, we've got the comment box. So we can hover our mouse somewhere and do C on your keyboard. Alternatively, we can right click and go comment, and then we can add a comment box like that. We can scale it up to encompass some things. We can double click on the top here, change the message. We can also do that on the top right up here. You can change the color if you want to. I tend to leave mine white, change the font. And this ball is quite interesting. So I find this gets a little bit annoying, having these giant messages spread across my blueprint. So I actually turn this off, keeping things a little bit cleaner. Another important thing to know about is this. So this is currently moving all the things inside the comment box with it, which can get a bit annoying. Sometimes you just want to move it without that. So if we come to move mode and change that to comment, we can just move the message, and then you can always turn it back on if you want to. So another one that I use, probably the one I use most often, is actually if you hover over blueprints, you can see you get these triple dots appear. So if you click on the triple dot, you then get a little area you can write messages in. So one thing I like to do on branches is something like this. A little message just to kind of remind you of what the true and false do. We can also do this methodology, which is quite nice, on a reroute node. We can click on and make a little message. This goes to something. Again, this could be useful if you've got cables going off somewhere in a distance and it's just nice to label it up. We can also add information through descriptions and tooltips if you see those around. So for example, here we have a function. If we go to its details, we have a little description part here. So we can put info about this function. Now, if we go back to our event graph, we can hover over our function here and we get that little message appear. We put our function in the world, hover over it, we can see we get that message as well. So you can put some useful information there. We can also do a similar thing on variables, but we can actually only do it on the tooltip part of it. So if we come in, info about this variable, the tooltip differs from the description, and it's not quite as useful, but we can get it here. We can get a tooltip about the variable, but if we drag it in, we actually don't get that information. So this is exactly the same in Unreal 5 as well. We can do the same sort of stuff. So we can make comment boxes. We can use the little triple dots. We can do functions. We can do variables. They actually changed the tooltip to a description, which is much more useful for variables in Unreal 5. So commenting might take a second to do, but if you get into the habit of it, you can really help future you remember what you were doing, or help somebody else understand what you were doing with your blueprints.